adaptive and technical challenges, one thing that they do share is they both can be complicated, right? So whether it's a technical challenge or an adaptive challenge, both can be complicated. When we talk about technical challenges, there is typically agreement that there is in fact a problem. So there's agreement that a problem exists. There's also agreement on what the problem is, and the solutions to be able to address the issue are typically readily available. So that kind of, in my opinion, defines technical challenges. Now let's juxtapose that to adaptive challenges. Again, still complicated. However, when we're dealing with an adaptive challenge, there is typically a lack of agreement that a problem even exists. And there's a lack of agreement on what the problem is, and the solutions to be able to address the challenge are typically lacking. So how do we address those things? So Rebecca, your next question was, what are some strategies? Well, so adaptive and technical challenges really ebb and flow over the course of an implementation cycle. I mean, just like with the stages of implementation, we tend to have the affinity symbol in the back of, the figure 8 on its side behind the implementation stages. We typically also use that same affinity symbol behind the terms adaptive and technical, because over the course of an implementation process, you're gonna ebb and flow from technical challenges to adaptive challenges, each of which are going to require very specific strategies. So some of the strategies to address technical challenges, those are really managing the issues and concerns. So in the example I gave about allocating funds to pay for the posters, to post the school-wide expectations and class-wide SEB expectations, that's managing the issue, going to the business official, pulling the funds from the right budget, and making sure that those things are ordered and in place for when people need them. So technical strategies, managing issues and concerns. Adaptive strategies, though, those strategies require ways by which we can help bring people together to be able to analyze the bigger picture. So a lot of people talk about when describing adaptive leadership strategies, they talk about getting on the balcony, taking a balcony view. That's what I mean by a bigger picture. You need individuals to come in, you need help, leaders need help in being able to analyze the bigger picture. At the same time, though, because there isn't agreement that a problem even exists, let alone what the problem is, you've got to protect all the voices. So the strategies that need to be used from an adaptive lens have to protect the voices, have to ensure that we're guiding the pace of the conversation and the pace of the work, because you're bringing in people together with different perspectives, not necessarily agreement about what the issue is or how to solve it. So you've got to manage the pace and how these conversations flow. At the same time, maintaining focus on, as a leader, what is it that you need to accomplish at the end of, the use of these strategies. For example, you need more clear definition of what the problem is. You need more consensus about that. You need more consensus in how to address it. So you've got a leader has to manage the focus. They also, by bringing individuals together with different perspectives whose voices are going to be protected, by doing that, they're tapping into the collective intelligence of the group, which is needed because adaptive challenges require multiple perspectives. And so some of these strategies that I see leaders use when managing technical issues, those are things like the 5 whys, a root cause analysis. There's another strategy called the nominal group technique. The concerns-based problem-solving process is another one. When I say concerns-based problem-solving, this is a process by which you Again, you have multiple perspectives, you're protecting voices, but the collective intelligence of the group is helping to define what the situation really is, helping to define what really is the concern, what are the potential options, what are the consequences that may happen based on different options that are put into place. What's the solution? And then a way by which we're following up to see if potential solutions are working. And so we would say that follow-up would be like a plan, do, study, act cycle. So those are different strategies that would be used if we're dealing with adaptive challenges.